welcome to another episode of I Take.
D.
I'm Joel.
And I'm Carla.
And we have a special treat for you. Last time when you heard us, we got to talk about our new season, which is titled 20 Years in the Making. And this is actually episode 2.
Yes.
Oh, dos, número dos, uno, dos. And, if you remember, if you watched the first one, you will know that we left off when I called Carla. At that time, she was kind of caught off guard because my sister had given me her number without her permission. But as you remember, I was like, thank you, sister, for hooking it up. So we want to take you to the next episode of this and where we left off, which is, talking about our life. And I called you. So what's up?
So you called. And again, I was off guard, right? Because I did not know who this person was and how to even get my number. He was trying to be all cool, calm, collected, like introducing himself to who he was. And then he mentioned he was Annarella's brother. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I think, we began a conversation. It's funny because we just had this conversation not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having lots of conversations in these 20 years, just getting to know each other more. And I told him, I was like, did you know that I actually had someone over the house that day when you called?
Yeah, so that's good that you bring that up because I actually felt bad for the guy. Like, he was a good friend of hers, and she was actually telling me, like, it's just he never really asked a question. He was a nice guy. I would have given him a chance to at least date. And I was like, well, why you didn't? And she was like, well, because he never asked. And I'm like, whew, I'm glad I did. Because I didn't know that. Like, recently talking about it, because we've been like reminiscing and just thinking about, just as we turn 20 years, thinking about like, okay, why this and why that, which has been really cool. So if you have an opportunity to do that with your spouse, like kind of go back on some things, not to be mad about stuff and bring like ugly stuff. I'm talking about like really quirky, funny things. And like, it's almost like getting the background information.
The behind the scenes.
The behind the scenes. And so she has shared that day I called her, he was over.
Yes.
And
he just came to visit. Was a good friend of mine back in that time. Which is, we hang out with a big group of people. It wasn't never just him or I. It was just like a big group of friends. Hang out, go out to dinner, go out bowling, do stuff. And in that evening, he was over the house, and then, just chatting. And then here comes this phone call from North Carolina, long distance phone call from Joel, who completely threw me off guard. So yeah, that was interesting. I had to leave politely in a nice way because I want to be respectful of his phone call. I already knew his phone call was a long distance phone call. I kind of sort of knew a little bit that he wanted to talk to me because his sister kind of like, hey, my brother wants to talk to you. And I'm like, oh, kind of not sort of interested right now. And no talking to anybody. And she's like, oh, okay. And, I didn't know that she still had shared the number with me. But, yeah, so really nice, respectfully, I kind of told my friend, hey, I got to take this call. I'm sorry, it's probably going to be a long one. It is a long distance call. And, my friend left nicely enough. He left not knowing who was at the end of the other call, who completely changed my life forever.
I mean, look, right? I won. Like, well, what can I do? But so we start talking, and it was then that immediately like we could feel that our conversations were different. We didn't waste time on, like, we really wanted to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And it took willingness from you to take my call, and then willingness from the both of us of like, let's get to know each other. And it was then that we realized that we did know each other from when we were in 5th and 6th grade.
Yeah.
So that, that kind of then, oh my God, you're that Carla. And she was like, you're that Joel. And that, I think that, brought
that kind of brought like a conversation to a point that I was like, okay, I can talk to him, let's see where this goes.
get the other guy out.
Oh, poor thing. He didn't even,
I know.
he didn't get the chance.
No, well, you snooze, you lose.
But it was, I think, one of the things we shared not too long ago, and I share with him, is that how important it is to just have those genuine, vulnerable conversations with someone that you're getting to know, that you're dating, or you just getting to know. Because
Yeah, obviously not sharing your whole life because you don't know this person well, and you don't know whether they're gonna take the information and be gracious about it or use it against you. But yeah, you're right. Like, just making sure that you are honest in your conversations.
Absolutely. I think, just getting to know that person, regardless of, I think one of the things, I remember who exactly said it for one of our family members, is like, you begin to talk to someone that you are dating, and you always have to ask the questions, is this a potential for marriage? And I say that because I wasn't looking to date anyone that it was not going to take our relationship serious.
Well, you already have bad experiences. One of the things that people know because of our episode called Blended Families is the fact that, I had been in previous relationship, and so was I engaged before, connected with Carla. She had been married and, had a child. And so she was at a different place. She's like, I've been down this road before. I'm not here to be playing games. And I was at a place where I'm like, well, I'm tired of playing games myself. I told my wife, I said, I have messed up with my previous engagement. Like, I'm the one who messed up. Like, I called it off. It wasn't like there was any infidelity or anything. No, it's just I went into the Marines. We got engaged before I left to the Marines, and then I left to the Marines. And just the whole process of the Marine Corps got me in a place where I was like, I don't think I'm married. I'm ready for marriage and the Marines. So I called it off, and even the way I called it off wasn't the best. But maybe it's the way it happened, and then I can't take that back. So
yeah, and for me, I was married at I was married at such a young age, 19 years old, thinking this was I already had a child by this person. So me being young as I was and just recently coming to Christ, right? I came to Christ at that age, thought doing the right thing was marriage, not knowing that marriage is more than just marriage, right? You really have to be in love with this person. You really have to be know that this is the one that you want to be for the rest of your life. And I didn't know that back then, right? So I made the immature decision of getting married such young age because of my child that I already had, that I missed the mark. I missed the reasons why you should be married, why you should be married. And I think, again, being young, so early on, it really didn't last long. And then, things took the course, and how that toxic relationship was that really affected me emotionally. So that I wasn't really ready to meet anyone new unless it was serious, unless they really cared, and unless they wanted to take that relationship to a level that it wasn't just games, right? It wasn't just like for the moment, that's what I was looking. I think, I was gonna be honest enough to say that up front in our phone calls, because there was multiple phone calls that we had. But I wanted to be honest. I wanted to say, hey, this is where I am, and if that's not where you are, that's okay too. But I was upfront.
I never felt like she was pressuring me to marry her. Like, it's not like she said, if you're not marriage material, then I don't want to talk to you. I think we were just at least honest with each other from the very beginning. There wasn't a question about like, hey, do we want to get married, without even really getting to know each other. It was more like, look, this is where I'm at. This is my life, and it's okay if you're not. Like, we could just continue to talk about this, and if so that's really what made the difference for us. And so, after that first phone call, we kept talking via phone, long distance, because I was in North Carolina. I was still in the Marines. Although the best part is that I only had months left before I finished my career. And so we started talking on the phone, And then after that, I was coming home.
Yeah, a couple weeks after you.
A couple
were,
weeks after us
coming
talking,
over.
I was coming over. I was getting another, long, a
Long
few
break.
hours, a
Mhm.
long break to
Mhm.
to come to Connecticut, and
It's
so
around your birthday weekend.
it
or
was
something
around my
like that,
birthday weekend,
which
and
is in February.
yeah, February, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna surprise her. By then, I was already feeling, like I was really liking our connections. Like that's the other thing. Like
Mhm.
again, because we were so intentional about our conversations
Yes.
and open and honest about where we were. That helped us out a lot.
Yes.
Where yes, there was physical attraction, but the most important is that we could just really talk.
I think it really set our foundation.
Yeah,
of,
yeah, it
of
set the
just,
tone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it set the tone of just having a conversation
Having a
with someone
conversation.
that potentially can be a boyfriend or girlfriend material. I mean,
Yeah.
something of that nature because we set our foundation.
Mhm.
Our ground so easily, and we were
Yeah.
able to just share and be vulnerable with each other. Set the tone to what came after.
Yeah, yeah. So I got home and I called her mom because by then what I did is I asked my sister to give me her mom's number because my sister knew her mom too. She used to get her hair done with her because her mom, she's been a hairstylist for forever.
Mhm.
And so my sister gave me her mom's number. Well, I don't even remember how it went. I think either my sister called her. I don't remember those details. Guys don't really remember details like that. Sorry, ladies. But we should try. That doesn't mean we shouldn't try to remember things. But I do remember this, and I went and got flowers. What I didn't remember was the details of the flowers because
Yes.
this is what I did. Guys, take notes. I went and bought flowers, and before I thought the colors is what I had messed up, but then I found out the colors. So I
Mhm.
got all white flowers, right? It was a dozen roses,
A dozen roses.
And
They were red,
a-
red.
red and one
all
white.
And red
Okay,
and one
so
white.
I had 11 red roses, and I had one white rose out of the 12, and I put that one in the middle.
Mhm.
And what I did is I put a little note because I like writing.
Yes.
And that's something that we still do
Yeah,
with each other. We
still
write
does
little notes to
today.
each other. I do a lot of business trips, so if I have to go somewhere else, I'll leave her a note. She'll leave me a note. Sometimes we'll put it in each other's like lunch bags and all that, even when we're going to work. That's actually a very nice touch, if that's something that you enjoy or appreciate or value. And so I put in a note, there are many roses in the world, but none like you, and you're the white one in the middle, or something like that. Is something what I
I
wrote.
mean, I still have the roses.
She
and
does.
I
She
still
still
have
has the
card.
roses. Yeah, she still
So,
has a card.
It
That's
was
true.
about, something about uniqueness,
Yeah.
He says, out of all the roses, the white one represents how unique you are. to
I was
me.
trying to be a smooth operator.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but he really got me because I thought, oh my God, this is the most beautiful gesture anyone has done.
Mhm.
But that's just not the top of the, that's one piece of the cake, I say, of
Yeah,
the flowers
yeah.
because it's how you did it and how you showed up.
Oh yeah, it was, so then
The
she was at,
delivery, I think it was
the
more.
delivery. I didn't send anyone. I actually, as soon as I got home, I bought the flowers. They find out where she worked. I was not being a stalker. I got my sister to find out where she worked. So I went to her job and asked for her, and that was like the first time we really like connected.
Actually saw face to
Saw her
face.
face to face after, having conversations on the phone. So after that, we went on our first date,
That weekend.
where it was at Chili's.
Chili restaurant.
Yeah, we went on a double date.
Yeah.
And it was at Chili's where we first.
It was a triple day actually because it was your
Oh
brother.
yeah, my brother, my sister, and then us. So it was like
Yes.
it was a siblings affair. And we went to Chili's. That was actually our first day. It was the one in Newington,
Yeah.
right on Berlin Turnpike.
Wow.
And that's what we.
Memory lane.
Yes,
Yes.
seriously.
Wow.
I only remember what I was wearing, and I remember what she's wearing because we do have a picture.
We do. Of my
and,
first
and,
date.
and I might just put it somewhere in here so you guys can see
Yeah.
that because we have that picture. So right in this episode, we're gonna make sure we share that picture with each of you. Don't laugh. We look very, very young, and that's okay. Again, it's 20 years in the making now. So but we did have a good time.
Yes, we did. We did. So that, I mean, we'll leave this episode to that first.
Yeah, our time is up. Remember,
Yeah.
we want to keep it to 15 minutes. We do want to remind folks that we are on
Oh, we are now on TikTok.
TikTok.
Ah, yes, we are. We are on TikTok. We are
Okay.
in YouTube,
YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitter,
Twitter, and Instagram.
and you can find us through what?
You can I Take D Ministry. Just if you search for I Take D Ministry, you will find us.
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube as well. Subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yes, please click on it.
And
Pray
click
for
share.
notifications. Share this video if if in your heart you feel that this can help others. Just our experience.
Yes.
That's all it is. And we'll see you guys next time.
Next time.
Be on the lookout.